My name is Gabrielle Cantor, and I am the Maryland Association for Environmental and Outdoor Education Program Coordinator. I'm going to talk to you today about Objectives 1.1 and 1.2 in the Maryland Green School application. So let us begin. This here is the Maryland Green School application in an outline format. It has Objective 1, 2, and 3 here. But today we are going to be specifically talking about 1.1 and 1.2, environment as a context for learning and professional development. Just so you know, every single one of these sections that has the activities in it need to have information about that activity and a piece of documentation about that activity. So that'll look like photos, student work, and other examples, which we'll talk about at the end of the video. Before we dive too deeply into 1.2 and 1.1, we're going to talk a little bit about the timeline. Applications include actions over 2 years. If you're a new school, you've never applied before, that means that if you are planning to apply in the spring of 2016, you can use activities from 2014-2015 as well as 2015-2016 up until June, even after the application is due. If you are recertifying, you can show activities from 4 years. Now, what does that mean to recertify? Well, as a green school, once you become a green school, you have to recertify every 4 years for a grand total of 3 recertifications to achieve the sustainable school status. These schools have shown that even with changes in administration, changes in teachers, and changes in students, they are able to keep up their green activities, and it is fantastic work that they are doing. But let's get back to the timeline. If you are intending to apply in the spring of the second year, then you need to file your intent to apply in December of that year, that school year, and pay the non-refundable application fee. This, as I said, the application is due in the spring, and after you've turned in your application, we do application reviews. Everyone is welcome to attend, even if you've never reviewed before. This may help you learn a little bit more about what it means to review a green school application. We also have a youth summit at the end of May, and that is a really great event. We celebrate the schools and their achievements, as well as any other schools who are interested in coming to our environmental literacy fair. So let us begin with 1.1. 1.1, or Environment as a Context for Learning, is about the environmental literacy requirement. We're looking to see that you're trying to integrate green learning into your school. In elementary and middle school, our requirement is that there is instruction in all grades, and in high school, we're looking that there's instruction in at least 4 subject areas. Now here you'll see a chart that we've put together, something that you may decide to put in your application. It helps the reviewers see what is happening in the application, but it's not required. This may also help you marshal your thoughts with, well, what are we doing in this grade? What are we doing in this grade? What are we doing in this grade? Listing it here, and then maybe referring to or linking it to the actual examples where you have those pictures. This is from a template that we have on our application, or on our website, and that template shows that for Objective 1.1, if you simply list the title of the lesson, the date, the teacher, the grade, and a brief description, that would be sufficient for your information that we're looking for. And then if you have a photo here or an example of student work, you could put it on the same PowerPoint slide as well as with a caption, and that would be your documentation. This here is an example from someone's application directly, and they have the same thing. They have the description of what's happening in the 5th grade, and then they have the example of the student performing the activity with the caption. So this is one really great example. This is from a PowerPoint. You're also welcome to do website formats. So don't think that you need to do it exactly like this. It's simply a way to help guide you if you're interested. Now, moving on to 1.2, which is the professional development. We broke it up into 3 subsections. It was already required that you had these pieces. We are simply breaking it up. So for 1.2.1, we're looking that all staff is aware of the Maryland Green School application process. This means that your school is having some kind of announcement, email, or what may help you the most is if you can get onto a staff meeting agenda and then have 10 minutes to talk about your Maryland Green School process. You will be able to better recruit teachers for your Green School Committee, be able to inform them all about their roles and the importance of what they can do to help you, and then that will in turn assist you with your process. It is required, so as documentation, you can have an agenda, some email confirmations, things that show us that you are showing the whole school, the whole staff, what is happening at your Green School. We also have 1.2.2, which was again required last year. It is that at least 10% of teachers have participated in environmental education and professional development. Now, it's important to know that this does not have to be a 40-hour credit course that 10% get. It can be a number of things, and some examples include the Mayo Conference. We have environmental education workshops, some examples of those. If you want to talk to your Green Center or your Green Leader, they may already be doing some of those. We also have a professional development calendar on our website where you can get some ideas. And then speaking to Green Centers and Green Leaders, you may be able to have them come into your school to talk to a select group of staff who then can learn something that they can bring back to their classroom. That is the goal of this section. It is not to make it particularly difficult. It is simply to show that you're, as a staff, growing and learning from the environmental field, things that you can bring back to the students and then help them learn and grow as well. So this is simply some things that you can find actually on the application itself. So go ahead and you can check that out on our website. And then 1.2.3, which is new, but it is additional. It shows things that are done outside of the 4-year window. If you are a new school or an old school, you are allowed to use professional development that was received within 4 years for that 1.2.2 section that I just showed you. However, if you have some additional professional development that was done outside of that window, you can put that in our optional section here. This is a new section, so we're going to see what happens with that and the interest level there. So, as I promised, we talk a little bit about documentation. You need to have some piece of documentation for all of your examples, and documentation would include photos, student work, newspaper examples, certificates, things that you're able to show someone who's never been to your school that the activities are actually happening. We are not looking for lesson plans, so please do not include lesson plans in your application. So that is our documentation here. And if you are interested in other sections of the application or an introduction, you can see some of our other videos on the website. We also have lots of resources on our website, including templates, example applications, and you can reach us directly with questions here. And then you can find this information on our website as well. So definitely explore, and we're really excited for you to be joining us.